For the longest time, I was probably in the same position you're in right now, which is you want abs, maybe you want to lose fat, maybe even you have abs, but you don't like the way that they look. I was in that exact same position. I went through an entire cut just to find out that I didn't like the way that my abs looked because I didn't spend the time before building them the way that they're supposed to be, which is what a lot of people online don't talk about nowadays. One of the biggest problems is that everybody just gets online and talks about these simple exercises that you're supposed to do to magically get abs, but they don't talk about all of the real steps that it takes to get abs the way that you want them to look. And it took me so long to crack the code on how to get abs, but now that I understand it, I could get 50 pounds of fat, lose my abs, or completely start from zero, and you give me 3 months and I could build amazing abs with all of the knowledge that I understand now about how to build abs the correct way. So I'm gonna show you the 3 things that I learned that I now implement into my routine that took me from looking like this to this in just a few months. So you're gonna do this in 3 ways. And number 1 is a caloric deficit. So the 2 ways that we can put our body into a caloric deficit are, 1, by decreasing your caloric intake. Now, this would mean that you need to be in a 500 calorie deficit per day to lose 1 pound of fat a week. This would be by dropping the calories that you're eating from your maintenance by 500. Now, the second way that you can help that first way, cardio. You should think of cardio as a tool, not as a supplementation. You shouldn't just take out one or the other, because it's gonna be a lot harder for you, especially if you're somebody that likes eating food, or maybe you're already so low in a calorie intake that you need to add more cardio. So let's say you've already decreased your caloric intake by 200. Well, to get to the rest of the 500, you can burn 300 calories through your cardio. The second way that you're gonna build your abs is through training. Now, the reason that training is important is because while you're cutting down the fat and you can see your abs more, the way to get defined, bulgy abs is by training and building the muscle. Now, you need to train your abs the same way that you train any other muscle, and that's through progressive overload, weight training, and good rest times. Because if you're just getting down there and you're doing 50 crunches at the speed of light, you're not gonna be building the muscle the right way. You need to stretch out your abs, and you also need to squeeze and contract the muscles the same way that you would do any other muscle. So my 2 favorite exercises for this are, 1, a weighted crunch. And the easiest way you can do this is by getting the cable machine and adding either 2 D handles to it, a rope to it, or even a straight bar. And you're gonna put it behind your head and you're gonna do a crunch facing the cable machine. And you're gonna do these slow on the way up to really focus on the stretch. And then on the way down, when you're finally pretty much elbows to knee, you're gonna wanna focus on that contraction and really squeeze. Now, the way that I like to do my weighted crunches is typically around 3 to 8 sets of 12 to 20. You don't wanna stop these before you feel the burn. If you don't feel the burn before you stop in each set, you're probably not working them hard enough, or you need to increase the weight. Now, the second exercise that I like to do is leg raises. And you can do these leg raises with your body weight while you're trying to get used to them. And once you get used to them and you're experienced, you can add weight. And this is gonna hit your lower abs. And one thing I always like to tell guys is, similar to your chest, if you build a big upper chest, you're gonna have a good chest. If you build your lower abs, you're gonna have a good set of abs. So when we're doing these leg raises, you can start by using one of the assisted machines where you keep your forearms on the pads and your back is held up, and you can just do these to your waist. Now, experienced guys, you can do hanging leg raises. So hanging from a pull-up bar or anything you can hang from, and go from toe all the way above your head. These are awesome. These are gonna really stretch out your abs because you're gonna get a full stretch. And then once you add the weights in, you can practice progressive overloading. Now, the third way that we're gonna be perfecting our abs is by flexing them. The reason that flexing them is important is because you're gonna be able to get a good mind-muscle connection to manipulate the way that they look, because some people's abs look different in different positions and different poses, which is how you get these guys on social media that manipulate the way their body looks to look insane. Because I promise you, these guys are not just standing straight facing the camera, just flexing their abs as hard as they can. how you're gonna do this is after your workout, when you've got a ton of blood flow in your abs and it's really easy to flex them and you feel it and they feel hard, you're gonna go into the mirror and you're gonna practice flexing them up, down, outwards, inwards, and you can even do vacuums. Now, what a vacuum is when you suck in all of the air and pull your belly button to your spine. What this is gonna do is this is insanely going to help your mind muscle connection. So when you're practicing all of these different types of flexing with your abs, you're gonna be able to choose poses, you're gonna look in the mirror and be able to manipulate your body to look better, flexing them in different types of ways. Because if you have one type of ab where maybe they're jagged, you're gonna wanna flex them upward to make them look good. If you're one of those dudes with big blocky abs, maybe you wanna flex them downward so they're more spread out and you look more aesthetic. So with all three of these things working together, you're gonna be able to build a six pack that you're not only going to love, but you're gonna be able to sustain over time. And God forbid you gain fat and you don't like the way you look, now you've got the knowledge to repeat the process again and get the abs back the way that you want them. So if you liked this video, if this video was helpful, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will be posting another video tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that.